So hi guys, welcome back. So today we're going to learn how to temper chocolate. We've got 3 different chocolates on the bench here. I've got a white couverture chocolate, I've got a milk couverture, and a dark couverture chocolate. Now with the white, what we're going to do is we're going to use the microwave to show you how to temper chocolate using the microwave. With the milk chocolate, I'm going to do it over a bain-marie over the stove, and I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. And with the dark, we're going to use a tabling method. So now with the chocolates, there is different temperatures that you need to melt them to and then cool them back down to. I will cover them in each of the sections that I'm going to be doing. So we'll start with the white chocolate first, right? So I'm going to put these away. So this is white chocolate. We're going to temper my white chocolate using the microwave. Now I have it in a microwavable bowl. You can use a plastic bowl, which is probably better. What I have done as well is chopped up the pieces so they're nice and small. It melts a lot quicker, right? So what I want to do for this bit is take out a third. So I've got 200 grams here, and I'm just going to take out a handful, like this much, and I'm going to leave it aside. What I am going to do is melt this down completely. I've chopped up the chocolate pieces into little pieces. So what I am going to do is pop it into the microwave and microwave it for about 45 seconds or so. So what I'm hoping to get is a nice melted chocolate with a temperature of 46 to 48 degrees. So it's 45 seconds. I'm taking it out. This is how it looks. It doesn't look like much, but once I mix it through with the spatula, it will start to melt. So I am looking for 46 degrees. I'm going to move it around vigorously so that it mixes through and I don't have any lumps of chocolate. White chocolate tends to get a little bit temperamental, so we've just got to be careful not to burn it. So now I'm going to check the temperature. So I set 46 degrees, yes? It's now sitting at 38. With tempering, you've got to have lots of patience. So the temperature does creep up slowly. So you don't want to pop this back into the microwave because then you're going to run the risk of burning your chocolate. So it's sitting at 42 now. What we're looking for is 46 degrees. So it's sitting at about 42.7. So what I'm going to do is pop it back into the microwave for about 5 to 8 seconds. That's it. That's all it takes. So I'm going to give it a good mix around to distribute the heat. And then I'm going to try and see if I've got So 8 seconds does creep up really quickly. I can push it to about 48. All right, so it's 48 degrees. What I do now is I add the remaining chocolate that I have. bit by bit. And I'm trying to bring the temperature back down to about 27 degrees. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit at a time. Use the heat that's in the chocolate to melt the pieces that I've just put in. And I'm going to add a little bit more. Make sure there's no lumps of chocolate. And then I'm going to add the rest. If I don't get to a 27, 28 degree temperature, what I'll do is I'll add a little bit more chocolate as I go. See how it's nice and smooth and shiny and velvety? That's what you're looking for. We're going to measure the temperature again. I'm going to add a little bit more chocolate. As you can see, the temperature is reading at 35, 34.7, 35. So I'm going to get more chocolate. I'm going to add it bit by bit till I bring it down. So I'm going to add a couple of pieces of chocolate at a time. And I'm going to... So working with chocolate is really temperamental. Ideally, you want the perfect condition in a kitchen. Sometimes it gets a little bit tricky, especially when it's summer and the days are really hot. That's when you need to use your cool room a little bit more. I still see chunks of chocolate, so I'm going to use the heat that's in the chocolate to melt it first. Hopefully that would reduce the temperature to what I'm looking for, which is 27 degrees. So that's the consistency we're after. It's 27 degrees, and see the fluidity, see how thick and the viscosity is what we're after. You want it to flow nice and smooth. Now, in order for me to finish the tempering process, I need to bring it back up to between 28 to 29 degrees. I'm going to pop it in for about 3 to 4 seconds into the microwave. Hopefully that will do the trick. I might have to... Just going to give it a quick mix and check to see if my temperature is ideal. Now, if you don't get it to 27, 28, then you can pop it back into the microwave for a couple of seconds at a time. So see how it's starting to creep up? And so it's about 28.3. It's going up. As long as it sits below 29, we're pretty good. So we're sitting at 28.6. That's perfect. I'm going to transfer this into a bowl and use it to cover one of my chocolates in a little bit. So I've got the white chocolate tempered in a bowl, waiting for me to use it in a little bit. Right now, I'm going to show you how to temper the milk chocolate. So in here, I got about 300 grams of milk chocolate. I'm going to do the exact same thing as I did with the white chocolate. I'm going to take a little bit out, like a third. And I'm going to take these and I'm going to melt it over the stove, over a bain-marie. Again, I want a temperature of 46 degrees. Yep. Now, when you're melting it over a bain-marie, you've got to be careful not to leave it on and walk away, because you will run the risk of burning the chocolate. So you want to constantly stir. What you also want to do is take it off the stove from time to time and give it a mix, because chocolate has the ability to retain the heat. So there's enough heat in there that will melt the rest of the chocolate. So try not to leave it in there for too long. Have a tea towel handy. You don't want to burn your hands, because the bowl does heat up quite a bit. You want your flame on a medium to low, nothing too high. The water in the pot has to be simmering, not boiling. And that will make a lot of difference too. Right, so that's somewhat melted. Now, one of the most important things with chocolate is they're not really good when you have water with them, because it will cause your chocolate to seize. So every time you take the bowl off the stove, you need to make sure you wipe the bottom of it so there's no water that you might run the risk of water dropping into your chocolate. So I'm going to give it a good mix, because the bowl is somewhat warm. So that's enough heat to melt the chocolate. See how there's chunks of chocolate still? I'm going to pop it back onto the stove for a quick couple of seconds. So remember to just keep mixing it. Don't leave it idle. Don't walk away from the stove when you have chocolate on it. So now, so see how it's very quickly melted all the bits of chocolate. So what I'm looking for is 46, 47 degrees. And what I would do is I'll measure. So I've brought it up to about 46.4. I'm quite happy with the way it looks. So right now what we're going to do is, as we did with the white chocolate, we're going to add the remaining of the chopped up milk chocolate into this melted chocolate. So I'm going to start little by little, hoping to bring it down to, again, 27 degrees. So I'm going to agitate the chocolate, mix it through, using the residual heat that's in the chocolate and in the bowl to melt. So you're going to keep doing this until you finish all the chopped up chocolates. So a bit at a time. If you add all of it at one go, what is going to happen is you're going to drastically drop your chocolate temperature. So you want to do it bit by bit. Now, tempering chocolate takes years of practice, so you need lots of patience. So this is 27 degrees. So again, it's got the same consistency as the white chocolate did. Nice and thick. Now, I'm going to bring I'm going to pop it back onto the stove. I've got to be really careful not to over temper it. So I want to ideally get a temperature of between 29 to 30 degrees and nothing more. So it's going to sit in here just for a couple of seconds. I'm going to take it off. I'm going to give it a good mix. So it's currently reading 29.2 degrees. It's really close to 30, so I'm just going to give it a good mix again. And that should do it. So essentially what you don't want is for the chocolate to go above 30 degrees. So it's 29.5. Again, I'm just gonna give it a good mix before I measure it again. Yep. So it's sitting at 29.9. I'm not going to put it back onto the stove. I've hit 30, so I'm quite happy. I'm just going to clean up the sides. I'm going to prepare the stuff that needs to be dipped in chocolate, and I'll come back and show you. I've got one more tempering to do, which is the dark chocolate. So I'm gonna go prepare the things that need to be dipped. So we've got the milk and the the milk chocolate and the white chocolate done. We're going to do our very lucky last, the dark chocolate, and I'm going to do a tabling method. Now this one is slightly different. What we are going to do is, again, I've chopped them up into little pieces. I'm going to melt the entire amount down to about 49 to 50 degrees tops. All together, and then we'll move on to the marble table where I'll show you how to cool it down and bring it to a temperature of 31 degrees. So this is the temperature that's at 48 degrees. I'm going to pour a third of it onto the bench. And I'm going to cool this down to about 28 degrees. And how do I do that? So I'll spread it out. Hang on 1 second. Spread it out again. So you want to spread it out, let it cool down, and then bring it back into a mess. So you'll find that it thickens. Do it a few times. I'm going to check if I've got the temperature that I want. I'm guessing not, but we're going to check. Nice. It is 28 degrees. It's dropping as we speak, which is good. I'm going to transfer this back into the bowl of chocolate that I have. This is the part that it gets messy. Okay, I'm going to mix this through. Till my whole temperature comes up to about 28 degrees. So it's still creeping up. So we're going to cool it down a little bit more. I'm going to pour a little bit more down. So I'm going to transfer them back. Ideally looking for 28 degrees. Well, I have to cool it down to 28 degrees, so I'm just going to keep stirring it.